This starts on a Ferris wheel for 10 days. And, it's not like you're out winning triathlons right away or anything like that. Like you have a very different path into this kind of thing.
I think that is the most beautiful or profound lesson that needs to be heard today. Nobody's the expert at the beginning of their journey. Nobody is. And you have to meet yourself where you're at today, and that be the expectation. The hardest thing to do is to start on any journey, because that's where the highest amount of struggle is. That's where our experience and our momentum and our success is at its lowest. And a lot of people see the headline, the 100, and think, oh, he's just born to do this kind of thing. And I love saying it now that you can't go from 0 to 100 and miss all of the moments in between. And everybody has a beginning, middle, and end to their journey.
A lot of people just get caught up in needing to understand how it's going to unfold, and they get paralyzed and never actually move forward.
Well, and two, that was beautifully said, but two, they're too, and social media, this is the bad part about social media, is they're comparing themselves against what other people are doing or showing that they're doing. Mm-hmm. And they say, I can't do that and I'm not good enough. And that's what stops them from starting. And that's tragic to me, because thankfully social media wasn't big when we started, and I didn't have basis of comparison. And people are like, oh, who are your mentors? Who are your mentors, and who's this and that, and who do you look up to? And I was like, I would not compare myself with what the current standard of excellence was, and I would go out and try to do what I believed was possible. And here's the perfect example. At the time when I said I was going to do the 50, the baseline was kind of like the Epic 5, mm-hmm. right? And had I looked at that and said, oh, the Epic 5 is the standard of excellence at the time, which it was, I would have said, okay, I'm going to double that standard to do 10. So why did I go all the way to 50? Because for me personally, I wasn't comparing myself about what others were doing and accomplishing. I went out and I set the standard of the bar to what I thought I could do. Mm-hmm. And that's where people get into problems and struggles, is they are now comparing themselves to what they see the top guys doing, and they just get overwhelmed and they don't start. And so there's two sides to that coin, right? Don't get sidelined by what you see people are doing, and then don't look what other people are doing, and do what you believe is possible mm-hmm. within yourself. And I couldn't have done what I did mentally without learning and struggling and developing and sharpening that thing. The big question topic, are you born with it, or can you develop it? And my answer, just based on my personal experience, is it's nurture. You have to develop it. You have to work on it. Now, we're all born with a different baseline. Jace would be a great example. He obviously has a different starting baseline for mental toughness than some other people mm-hmm. do. Now,
you're the kid who was on the Ferris wheel for 10 days to win a prize.
Right, exactly.
So your baseline is probably
a little bit different.
Like, how old are you for that?
22? 21, 22.
Yeah.
But I took that knowledge from that experience, and then I've really showed up in my life and sharpened it. Jace has an incredible opportunity to be something very special in that mindset space. And I come across, you can pick out, okay, baseline's higher, develop that talent. But everybody can develop it, because I'm a great example of, this is a mental journey. I'm not the most physically gifted. Mm-hmm. Now the other big question is like, how much is physical and how much is mental mm-hmm. for what we do or the journey that we're on? And my answer has changed over the years. And you hear a lot of people have different opinions. It's like 70% mental, and it's 100% physical, and it's 100% mental. You cannot do what I did if I'm very strong mentally and I'm a 300-pound man. Mm-hmm. Mentally, you cannot drag your body through that experience. And if you're extremely physical but have a weak mind, I've seen so many athletes that are way more talented than I am fail because they don't have the mental component of it. And so you straight up have to be 100% on both of them in order to accomplish something like that, or the journey, or push your boundaries or your limits, right? It's a combination.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot rely solely on one or the other and allow that to get you through. You have to be so strong at both of them, or it just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's really a habit or a muscle, this idea of reflexively putting yourself into positions where you're going to be tested mentally, emotionally, physically, in all of these ways. And we're in a culture right now where it's kind of easy to opt out of that type of situation. So you have to almost have a little bit of extra gumption to like seek it out and put yourself in that situation.
Sunny always says, and she is not lying when she says it, she says, if I have two paths in front of me, I'm going to intentionally pick the harder one because I want it to hurt. I want to struggle. I want to learn. I want to grow. And that's exact opposite of what most people are doing today. They see two things and go, that's the easy route. I'm going to take that way.
You're deluded into thinking that the happy life is the easy life, but the happy life, the fulfilled life, the purpose-driven life is the life that invites those sort of difficult situations into your experience.
Well, they're depressed and they have anxiety and all those things. I'm like, I'm sure you do. Because you're just taking that easy mountain bike path. It's just soft dirt, and all you do is, there's no challenge. There's no reason to develop any character, but they're choosing that, right? So it's like, well, I'm sure you feel depressed, like you're accomplishing nothing hard. So that's definitely what our culture and our society today encourages.
Yeah.
One of the
easy path.
One of the biggest things you learn by taking the harder path is problem solving. And that's what our team and Sunny has become experts at is problem solving. That's all we do. We've become master problem solvers, and we've learned how to problem solve in the face of adversity. And when you take that path of least resistance, there's very limited opportunities or necessity to problem solve. And so you don't learn that skill set. And life is about managing adversity and learning how to problem solve at a high level.